We didn't order anything for your son, my sister said, handing Owen a fruit cup while her kids devoured $120 steaks and dessert. My dad added with a shrug, "You should have packed him something." I just smiled and said, "Noted." When the waiter came back, I stood up and announced, "Actually, can I get the bill? My name is Madison Clark. I'm 33, and if you think blood guarantees love, you've never sat at my family's table. They always made me feel like a guest in my own story. Mom died when I was 10. Dad remarried within a year. My sister Laura became the golden child overnight. Private school summer camps, the best of everything. I was the helper, the girl who stayed behind to clean the dishes after celebrations I wasn't really part of. When I had my son Owen at 26, they said I'd ruined my chances of success. I didn't argue. I just built quietly, working late nights as a data coordinator until I could afford something better. Over the years, my silence became my weapon. But tonight, as I watched Laura's twins lick chocolate frosting while my little boy picked at a fruit cup, something inside me finally shifted. "Madison, it's fine," my dad muttered when I stood. "You don't have to make a scene." I smiled gently. "Oh, I'm not making a scene. I'm just making a point." The waiter nodded as I handed over my black card, and whispered something. His eyes widened. "Of course, ma'am." Laura smirked. "You really don't have to pay." "I'm not," I said softly. "Not yet." Because when I sat back down, I already knew the real payment wasn't coming from my wallet. The waiter disappeared with the bill. Tension rippled through the table. Laura leaned back, swirling her wine like she owned the world. "You really didn't have to do that, Maddie. We were fine handling it." I smiled. "Oh, I know. But sometimes it's nice to treat family." Dad grunted. "Family? You barely visit. You miss Thanksgiving." I looked up steady. "You didn't invite me, Dad. You sent a group text saying, maybe next year." His jaw tightened. Laura gave a fake laugh. "Don't be sensitive. You know how chaotic holidays get." Across the table, Owen quietly played with his straw, pretending not to hear us. That tiny act, staying quiet to keep the peace, was exactly what I'd done my whole life. Not anymore. The waiter returned with the folder and set it in front of me. Laura leaned forward, curious. "So what's the damage?" I opened it slowly and smiled. 612. Her smirk widened. "Ouch. Guess your little treat backfired." I met her eyes. "Shly no. The manager comped it." Her face froze. "What?" The waiter cleared his throat. "Miss Clark owns the consulting firm that manages this restaurant's payroll system. The staff wanted to extend their gratitude." A flicker of shock crossed my father's face. What exactly do you do?" "Something that apparently pays better than judgment," I said calmly, sliding the folder back. Silence. Laura looked pale, her perfect lipstick trembling. I stood, lifted my purse and turned to Owen. "Ready, buddy?" He nodded, eyes wide. "Where are you going?" Dad called. "Home," I said softly. "Some of us actually built one." As I walked out, every unspoken apology chased behind me like ghosts. Outside, the night air felt cool and honest. Owen slipped his hand into mine. "Mom, did we do something bad?" he asked. I knelt to his level. "No, sweetheart. We just showed them what respect looks like." He smiled faintly, trusting me in a way I'd never trusted them. When we got home, I tucked him into bed. But sleep wouldn't come. I kept replaying Laura's smirk, Dad's silence. The same script we'd acted out for decades. They thought my success made me arrogant. But really, it just made me visible. The next morning, my phone buzzed. "Dad, you embarrassed your sister last night." He was only trying to help. Then Laura. "You've changed, Maddie. Grandma would be ashamed." That last line broke something small inside me. Grandma, the one person who believed in me, had left her cafe to Laura because she had the time. I was too busy working to be considered worthy. And now that cafe was struggling. Everyone knew it. By noon, I called my financial advisor. "I want to purchase the Whitman Street Cafe." He hesitated. "That's your sister's place, right?" "Not for long." Within a week, it was done. Bought through a subsidiary. Silent ownership. The following Saturday, Laura posted a tearful update. "Our family cafe is under new management." Hard to watch something we love slip away. Almost felt bad. Almost. Until Dad texted. "Why didn't you tell us? We could have worked something out." I typed back. I learned that from you. Remember? Some people don't deserve explanations. Then I shut off my phone. For the first time I was free from their table. By Monday the papers were finalized. The cafe sign was repainted, the books reorganized, and the staff, half of whom Laura had underpaid, were now working under fair contracts. I kept my name off everything. No grand reveal. No bragging. Just balance. Still small towns talk. That evening while cleaning up Owen's crayons my phone lit up again. Dad this time calling. His voice shook. Madison, did you buy the cafe? I stayed silent. Laura's devastated. She said the new owners kicked her out. How could you? I breathed slowly. Dad, when I was 18 you told me you couldn't afford my college. You drained Mom's savings to help Laura build her dream cafe. I didn't say a word. I worked 2 jobs instead. Consider this an overdue correction. He exhaled sharply. You're being spiteful. No, I said softly. I'm being fair. Silence. Then his voice, small and tired. You really are your mother's daughter. The call ended. Instead of hurting, it healed. That weekend I drove past the cafe before closing. New signage glowed softly. The willow cup. My grandmother's favorite flower. My mother's favorite word. Through the window customers laughed. The place felt warm again, not desperate. Laura stood across the street, staring at the cafe she once said was too much responsibility. When our eyes met she didn't scowl. She just looked lost. I didn't roll down the window. I didn't gloat. I simply nodded once. The way Mom used to when she knew she'd done the right thing even if it hurt. Some lessons don't come from revenge. They come from peace that looks suspiciously like power. For the first time in years my phone stayed silent. No guilt calls. No emotional blackmail. No subtle reminders that I'd broken the family. Just calm. Until one Friday morning when an unfamiliar number flashed across my screen. Against my better judgment I answered. Madison, it's Dad. His tone was uneasy, like he'd rehearsed this call all night. Your sister's struggling. She can't find work. She says the cafe was all she had. I leaned against the counter watching Owen's school bus pull away. She still has you, I said. He sighed. You sound proud of what you did. I paused. No, Dad. I sound done with pretending it didn't matter. Silence. Then his voice cracked. I never wanted things to end up like this. I thought I was protecting everyone. I closed my eyes. You were protecting your comfort, not your kids. He didn't argue. For the first time in my life he didn't defend himself. He just listened. Later that day I stopped by the Willow Cup. I told the manager to hire 2 new staff members, both single mothers from the local shelter. No one should be treated the way I was, I said. When I walked out I saw Laura sitting in her car across the street watching me. She didn't wave but she didn't glare either. Just a long searching look that almost felt like surrender. That night I sat beside Owen as he drew pictures of our coffee shop. He colored a flower above the sign and grinned. Mom, it's like a happy place now. I smiled. That's the point, sweetheart. We don't fix broken things by hating them. We fix them by owning them. And for the first time the word owning didn't mean money. It meant peace. A few weeks later I was in the cafe office sorting invoices when the door creaked open. I looked up to see Laura standing in the doorway, holding a folder and a storm of emotions on her face. Can we talk? She asked quietly. I gestured to the chair across from me. Go ahead. She sat, shoulders tense. I came to pick up the last of my paperwork, but I also wanted to see what you've done to this place. I leaned back. You mean how it's functioning now? Her eyes darted around the room. The new espresso machine, the busy tables outside, the hum of customers that hadn't existed in months. It's different, she said finally. Better because I paid people what they deserved, I said softly. Because I cared. Her lips trembled. I cared too, Madison. I just didn't know how to run it. Dad said you wouldn't understand business. He was half right, I replied. I didn't understand his kind of business, building pride out of neglect. Laura looked down. You humiliated us. I exposed the truth, I corrected. You can't call it humiliation when it's accountability. She looked up, tears brimming. You sound just like Mom. That caught me off guard. For years Mom had been the line neither of us touched. I swallowed. Then maybe that's the first compliment I've ever earned from you. She stood, clutching the folder. I'm sorry, Maddie, she whispered. For the dinner. For Owen. For everything. I nodded. I know. And for the first time she didn't run from silence. She let it settle between us, soft, honest, almost healing. When she left, I stayed seated, hands trembling. Not from anger. From relief. Sometimes closure doesn't slam the door. Sometimes it just walks out gently and lets you breathe. After that day something shifted. The anger that fueled me for years began to dissolve. Like steam fading from a mug left on the counter too long. I realized revenge was never my goal. Recognition was. A week later I invited Dad to the Willow Cup. Not from guilt. But because Owen had asked. Does Grandpa ever come here? And I didn't want my son to inherit my silence. When Dad arrived he looked older, smaller somehow. He sat at the same corner table where he once told me I was too sensitive to survive in business. I placed a cup of black coffee in front of him. On the house, I said. He stared at the cup, then at me. You turned this place around. I turned myself around, I replied. The place just followed. He exhaled. Laura told me what you said about respect. I nodded. It's something I had to teach myself. You could have taught it, Dad. You just didn't. He nodded slowly, eyes moist. I was wrong, Maddie. I thought keeping things in one child's hands would make it easier. I didn't realize I was cutting the other one off completely. I didn't rush to fill the silence. I let him sit with it, let him face the cost. Finally he whispered, You built something good. I'm proud of you. The words should have come years ago. But now they didn't sting. They settled. I smiled faintly. Then do me a favor, Dad. What's that? Stop being proud of me. Start being better with me. He looked at me for a long time, then nodded. I can try. And for once I believed him. Because maybe forgiveness isn't forgetting the past. It's reclaiming your place in it. Sunday morning I opened the cafe early. Sunlight spilled through the windows. Soft, golden, peaceful. Dad arrived holding a small wooden box. It's from your mother, he said. Inside was a folded note and a key. For my girl who listens more than she speaks. When they underestimate you, don't shout. Build. I smiled. She always knew. Dad nodded slowly. Maybe I didn't. Owen ran from the kitchen, flour on his cheeks. Grandpa, help me bake muffins. For the first time I laughed without holding anything back. Later Laura appeared with a bag of coffee beans. Partnership offer, she said shyly. 50-50. No conditions. 50-50 in effort too, I replied. Deal, she whispered. By noon the cafe buzzed with life again. Voices, laughter, the hum of forgiveness filling every corner. I stepped outside, looked up at the sign. The Willow Cup. It no longer represented loss. It meant legacy reborn. Owen tugged my sleeve. Mom, do you think Grandma can see us? I smiled at the sunlight. I think she never left. And just like that the past felt quiet. Not gone. Just finally at peace.